Yes. Yes, you will get a recording of this. Let me go back to this. December the 9th. Thank you for coming. Today we're talking about how to call in more money by upleveling your wealth consciousness, the premium feminine way. Okay. That's what we're talking today. Thank you very much for putting that in the chat so that I can record it. So we talked about you have to get clear on what you want. You will all get this in the Google Drive. You will all get it. And I'm telling you, it's like, even when I talk to my coach and it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? You do this, you do this, you do this and this, and this hasn't happened. You do this and this and this, and this hasn't happened. And I'm going to tell you a quick story what happened to me over the weekend, how I drew in a client. And when you're here, I want to be very clear. It don't matter how it comes. It doesn't matter who it comes from. You just have to open up your heart chakra to the energy and say, God, I am ready for more. However it comes. However it comes. Number one, understand your wealth frequency. It is not a number. It's based on the feeling. It is your identity. It is your energy. It is your alignment. It is your emotional capacity. It's the boundaries that you set for yourself. And it is the belief. And I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, central nervous system. I tell my clients all the time, and they come in and I see it in the physical realm. When they come, they're in pain and things are happening. And after I get in and I get them to a homeostasis because they came in with a dysbiosis and now they're in alignment, I say, you got to shake it off. So how do you shake it off and set your central nervous? You got to exercise. You get on the treadmill. You go for a walk. Take your shoes off. Go walk in the grass. Walk in some sand. Walk by the beach. Walk in nature. Walk outside. Breathe. Arms up. Sunlight in. This is how you set your central nervous system, and people are not getting it. I don't know if people are not talking about it. And it's like all this stuff is energy connected. This is energy connected. I tell people all the time, after you have come off of a cold walk by an ocean, walk in a forest, get reconnected with God, reconnected with nature. I'm telling you guys, this stuff really works. And I'm going to give you a source at the end of this, and I want you all go to Amazon and get this book. Okay, if you want more money, you must become the woman who hold it. Where's your capacity? It could be that the universe want to give you something, but because your capacity has not been set, if your capacity level is not reset, then how can you hold it? And if you can't hold it, then the universe can't give it to you to bless it. So give you this analogy. We are bridges. Bridges are meant to be tested. We are bridges from one point to a next. You're helping other women to cross over here to get to this, right? You are a bridge of wealth, of knowledge, of transformation. Well, this bridge needs to be tested. We need to know how many cars can go over this bridge if the weight can hold. Because if your capacity and your mental stability cannot hold the weight, then God can't bless you on what you're asking for. Now that should ring and land for a lot of people. It's like, what is my capacity? So if you're asking for something, then you also ask to expand your capacity. For those faith believers and spiritual followers, go back and read the prayer Jabez. And he asked for to keep the enemies from me, to expand my gift. And he said also keep me hollow in my hand. And he asked for, what did Jabez ask for? To expand.
Enlarge my territory.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So you gotta always keep
Yeah.
that. What is the capacity? And it's like, oh my God, that's it. That's another key. It's the capacity. So when you're asking for things, God, expand my capacity. Okay, is your capacity. So your wealth consciousness expands your identity. As your identity expands, your wealth consciousness expands. Who is the woman who receives 10K a month? What does she look like? What does she look like? What does she wear? How is her voice? How is her life? How is her walk? Who is the woman who receives 25K? So if this is what you're asking for, the capacity must match, and you must walk in the identity of the woman as you are her, even though it has not even achieved yet, right? Who is the woman who receives 50K? And then you also have to speak differently. You show up differently. You act differently. You set boundaries. Boundaries could be, oh, I'm so sorry. This appointment or this um, client didn't call and give me her 24-hour, 48-hour notice of cancellation, and she never called. and then she wants to book again, and then you don't charge her for the appointment or your time or your non-cancellation fee. You didn't set your boundary, and the universe cannot actually give you what you're asking for because you're not even setting your own boundaries, or you're crossing your own boundaries. So it is so important to have your boundaries in alignment, right? You got to set your boundary. No is a no, and no is a complete sentence, right?
Mhm.
You can go ahead, ask your question. No is a no, and no is a complete sentence. In the holidays, you're going to get so much. How many invites have you already gotten? How many things have already flooded your emails? You cannot say yes to all of them. You have to say no. And you only say yes to the ones that's going to get you to your greater good, to cross over to December 30th. If it does not, don't do it. Don't do it. Number three, regulate your central nervous system. So let's get to this. Wealth cannot land on a shaky foundation. This is the thing that people don't talk about. You have to reset your central nervous system. Reject opportunities. Don't get panic. So, what I'm saying also by your central nervous system, this is your thymus right here. If you get to a point, it's like, oh my God, I got all these clients coming in. I got these calls I got to make. I got to be able to produce so much. You go right here to your thymus and you thump it, and it resets your system. And for those of you who know tapping, then you get into your tapping. Do that. That's what it's for. You could do that in your office. I love and respect myself. You guys know the ETF tap, the EFT tapping. Dot dot dot. Do 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 do. What's the truth? Do do do. You do that. Get into the tapping. That also resets your central nervous system. Anything that's of a lie or that's not true, then you reject it. And this is what we talk about, the limiting beliefs. And I'm going to walk you through on how to do that. Okay, so anything attaches to lack, you have to reset your central nervous system. Chaotic decisions, you got to reset your central nervous system. A regulated central nervous system receives faster, it sells easier, speaks clearly, operates intuition, feels safe and whole. At that moment, you have to ask yourself, oh my God, I got all this stuff I got to do. Do you feel safe? Are you in control? Do you feel supported? Do you feel loved? Are you whole? Are you enough? These are things you got to talk to yourself, because you got these limiting belief here, and then you have this on this side, and it's a dichotomy, and you're fighting against this here, but your central nervous system never lies. So you have to say, where's the feeling? Is the feeling that you feeling a panic here? Is the feeling that you're feeling in a panic here? Is the feeling that you're feeling in a panic in your chest? Where are you feeling the panic? Where are you feeling the misalignment? And where you feeling the misalignment is your truth. And that's where you have to tap. Okay. That's how you just begin to realign your central nervous system. It's really important that you all do this. You got to do it every single day. I'm telling you. If you want to make the sales, if you just want to just have this killer December month from a spiritual, energetic alignment place, this is what I'm sharing with you. Energetically, this is how you do it. So let's clear some mental clutter blocks. Money cannot land in chaos. You got to nip it in the bud. Clients, families, nip it in the bud. No chaos. You cannot have it. You cannot have it, because you're not going to get what you're wanting. It's not going to land. Confusion. It does not. You cannot have no confusion. This is the ninth. You got through the 30th. The fire is going to rise, but you can achieve. Boom, bada boom. No clutter. Get the clutter off your desk. Get the clutter out your office. No clutter. It has to be clear. No indecision. No, I think I might. Let me think about. No, it's no, I think I might, or I'm going to do. What are you doing? What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing next week? What are you doing the next week after that? What is it that you want to clear? You got to be very specific. We started at number one. You got to know what you want. No indecisive pricing. Your price is what it is. Your price is what it is. Your price is what it is. No negotiation. No messy offers. No scattered energy. We're going to the end race. This is serious business right here. So you have to call in more, simplify your offers. You choose one clear outcome now for December. We have already crossed over to Black Friday, done. Small Business Saturday, done. Cyber Monday, done. Now we're going for the kill. You're going for the kill now from the 9th to the 30th. One outcome. One outcome. That's it. One. You only focus on one. Declutter your digital and physical space. Okay. Remove all draining clients. Nada. Take them out. None. You're not having it. And choose incomplete, close all incomplete loops. Okay. Money loves clarity. Money loves speed. Money loves completion. And money loves clean energy. We're talking about energy. Stop talking to clients from scarcity. Speak from vision. If they can't afford your services, say next. Send them to your YouTube video or a course that they can buy. No more scarcity. You cannot speak to it. When you sell from fear, when you sell from desperation, when you sell from anxiety, when you say, please buy my energy, maybe this could be what's blocking some of you guys. Let's think about that. Maybe it's not really a strategy. Maybe it's just energy. Okay. Clients feel it and pull away. And I'm going to say, man, being in business for 29 years, I've had my ups and downs. And now I'm retracking and I'm going back through certain pivots of my life. It's like, this stuff is true. I saw when this stuff was so real. But the beautiful thing is that there's never enough money. There's always enough money, right? Money's coming. And we elevate our consciousness. So when we achieve one goal, we're going to expand to the next goal. And we're going to expand to the next goal. So expansion is limitless. And I finally got it. So what I'm saying to you is sometimes we're sabotaging ourselves because of our energy blocks. All right. Sell from certainty, sell from leadership, sell from overflow, and sell from confidence and calm. Calm. And this is why I'm telling you, you must balance your central nervous system. Anybody that's on my spa emails, all I'm talking about is calm energy, calm diet, calm mind, calm central nervous. That's all I'm talking about for the month of December is calmness. Calmness is the new currency. Okay. All right. So let's get to this one and then I'm going to get to your questions. This is really good. Replace old money patterns with wealth codes. I sent one of my clients some the authority wealth codes. If you guys want that, it's the authority prompts on when you're writing your content, you write from authority. So if you want a copy of that, I can send it to you. So we want to replace old money patterns with wealth codes. So let me give you an example. So I have to struggle, or I'm struggling for money. I must work hard to earn it. I don't want to bother people, or I'm afraid to raise my prices. I'm so excited that all y'all have raised your prices. I'm so good. I'm so excited all you guys have raised your prices. And so here's a new wealth code. My gifts make room for me. We know that one, right? I had to throw that one in. My gifts are worthy of compensation. My clients pay me high money. My gifts are worthy of compensation. That's a good one, ain't it? You can snapshot that. People rise when they invest. Oh, my work transforms lives. So these are things that you could tell yourself. I am allowed to prosper. Are you guys allowed to prosper? I think Drosser 1A say that as our soul prosper, we're going to prosper. And we need to have multiple streams of income too, right? I am allowed to prosper. Okay, so I want you to write your wealth codes for December. So this is how you open up your channels of feminine work. This is how you're going to increase your money and you're going to soften into receiving. Breath work. Slow down. Go slow. I had a phone call. Say yes. Let help in if you need it. Rest without guilt. Allow pleasure. I want y'all to go out on a date every week. Go out with a date. If you don't have a partner, go out with a date with yourself. No family members, just you go out on a date and moving your hips around because this is somatic movement and this moves negative energy out of your spine and out of your body. Touch, scent, and water rituals. Do you guys have cameras in? Do you guys have candles in your office burning? You should have candles in your office burning or waterfall. Anything that can give you some calm. Okay, let's get to number 8. We're almost done. Make the wealth aligned move that scares you. I want you to set your goals so high, but not high enough, but just high enough to be like, okay, then that means that's your next goal. If the goal that you set doesn't do anything for you, then the goal isn't high enough. So the wealth expands as we expand, but don't forget, you have to expand your capacity. So, what is your next bold, aligned move your wealth is calling you for? So, I have so many people that I want to bring into my new business accelerator. So, I have a number out there that I'm going to achieve to invite more people into the membership. And then I have a number that just makes me go like this. So, that number that makes me go like that, that's the number that I'm working on. Okay. So, whatever that goal is. I have a certain target that I want to close by the end of this month. And so you just have to put it out there. Just put it out there to the universe. This is how much money that I want to close, or this is how many clients that I want to close. So again, I'm going to go back and circle this. If you haven't already done it, please raise your prices, post your offer, ask for the sale. You should be asking for money every day. Reach out, lead gen, okay? Hire help if you need it, hire a VA, launch your program, or just start telling everybody about your program or what you're closing with. And I want you guys to start recording videos. We have already talked about this. Say yes to being seen. Have you guys gotten my course from Speak Up, Sell Up, and Sell Out? Some of you guys did. Be seen. That just means do live videos as much as you can. Okay, as much as you can. And say no to draining situations. Wealth is attracted to the decisive woman. I have a course that's coming out in January, and it's called The Wealthy Woman. My God, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. 4 weeks, The Wealthy Woman. Oh my God, it's going to be so good. Hold the energy of wealth as if it has already arrived. Okay, here's my example. So when I went to work out today, I says, ooh, I went into Tiffany's because Tiffany's is next door to the gym that I work out. So I went and worked out. I had to actually reset my central nervous system because I had did this project over the weekend and it took me 9 hours to do it. So I had to reset my central nervous system by moving that energy out of my body. This is why you should do treadmill, exercise, run, walk. So I did that and I said, let me go next door to Tiffany's. I went next door to Tiffany's and I said, I want to look at the silver bracelets, please. I want to look at the chain bracelets. This is about energy. Okay. This is about energy. And then I'm gonna get to your questions. This is about energy. I walked in there. She says, oh, what brings you in? I says, because I have a new man. I have a new man, and he asked me what I would like for Christmas. And I said, of course, I want a Tiffany bracelet. I want the Tiffany silver charm bracelet with the double clasp on it. I was very specific. She says, oh, yeah. She says, oh, yes, we have that one. Come on in. I says, I'd love to see it. She says, so she brought it from the back. It has to be the silver one now. I didn't say gold. I said silver. I was very specific. So she pulled it out. Is that the one that you can add the charms to? She says, oh, yeah, absolutely. You can add the charms. But we don't have the charms here. You have to order the charms online. I says, oh, that'll be no problem. You know, we only do 4 charms now. So they don't do all the charms like they used to on the bracelet. I said, that'll be just fine. I said, well, let me put it on. Let me feel it. So I got into the vibration of the silver chain. I said, oh, this just looks so scrumptious on me with the chain on it. I says, well, how much is it? It really doesn't matter, but how much is it? So she told me, oh, yeah, that's $700. I said, yeah, that's the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. I says, that one has the matching necklace to it too, right? She said, oh, yes. So she took the necklace. I says, I don't need to try that one on. I just wanted to try on the bracelet so I can feel it. I felt it. I took the picture of it. I claimed it. It was so good. I was in the energy. And I said, oh, that is the blue box that it's in with the ribbon on it. She said, yes. I says, I love that blue box. It is just so fit for a queen. She says, ooh, you got a beautiful man. It is so wonderful that your new man is going to buy that for you. I said, absolutely too. I said, yeah, when I meet him, I haven't met him yet, but I'm gonna meet him, but he's on the way. So the point is what I'm telling you, although that it's not there yet, act like that it is, get into the feeling of it, and it will manifest. So I walked in there and says, I got a new man. I got a new man. He's on the way. He's on the way. He's just been caught. He's just been held up. And then I have a new man that likes to buy me jewelry. And so I had to get into the feeling of the jewelry. So I'm just giving you a physical example is to get into the feeling of what you're wanting as you put in the number on your sales of what you want to earn for the month of December. And then we're going to get one step bigger. You need to tell the universe what you're going to do with the money. Okay. So let me get through this and then I'm going to end with that. I'm going to get to your questions. Hold the energy of wealth as it's already arrived. He's not here yet. He's just caught up in traffic, but he's here. He's coming. But I'd like my man to buy me jewelry, right? So that was the feeling. So where's your manifestation? Well, where does it meet leadership, right? And this is where you have to be able to teach your clients as well. You know, visualize money, feel the release in advance, act as the payment is already came, right? Prepare your schedule like your clients are coming. Have you guys placed your hands on your January 2026 appointment books and claimed it to be free, claimed it to be full? I'm doing that now. Put your hands on your January electronic calendar and claim it to be full. Right now, call it in, call the clients in, anchor it with gratitude, okay? Because money follows energy. I am. So here's your wealth conscious requires you to become a vessel, all right? Because you are a queen. I am grounded. I am confident. I am clear. I am magnetic. I am anchored. I'm spiritually aligned. I'm emotionally available, and energetically open, right? So this is what you've been called to be. Okay. So here's some information for you. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this. I'll quickly go over it. I'll email you this whole list. I will also email you the video. So what we're talking about is how to call in more money by up-leveling your wealth consciousness. This is from a spiritual queen perspective. And we talked about get clear, know exactly what you want. You need to be very clear and know what you want. Number two, you have to be able to expand your capacity. Expand your capacity. Number three, regulate your central nervous systems. When you regulate your nervous system, it must come through movement through physical exercise or through journaling or through meditation or through shaking it off. Okay, that's how you reset your central nervous system. Clear your mental clutter. Number four. Number five, stop talking to clients from scarcity. Speak from vision. Speak with people that got money, okay, who want to pay for your price for your services because they're ready for the transformation. Replace old patterns with wealth codes, okay? Open your heart to receiving, okay? Gratitude. Make the wealth aligned move that scares you. Okay, price the thing that just kind of makes you nervous, but not too much, but just enough. If it doesn't even do anything, it's too low. Hold the energy of wealth as if it has already arisen. This is why I gave you the example of the Tiffany bracelet. Okay, and then your wealth consciousness requires you to become the vessel of who you are. You must speak who you are right now. You are all those things. God says, I am. He made you perfectly in his image. You are not broken. There is nothing missing. There is nothing lacking. You are whole. You do not come from a broken state. You come from a full state. Okay. So that's who you are. And then I'm just going to share this too, is that this is the point of what you do is when you're journaling, you ask yourself a question and you say, this is what I want to become available for. This is what I'm no longer available for, right? And so you start writing it down and you say, okay, I'll say example of I want to complete 50K this month. This is what I'm going to do. And I wrote it down. And so when you begin to write it down, the second thing you're going to say, what you going to do with the money? Then you say, okay, if it's a money thing, write what you're going to do with the money. If it's clients, write the transformation that you want them to get from that. If it's because of health and you're trying to overcome something, God bless me and clear me of this particular diagnosis that my doctor gave me. Whatever the thing is, we'll just use money. State what you're going to do with the money. Number three, if it's say, God, I want to make $20,000, I'm just putting a figure in. I want to make $10,000 extra for the month. This is what I plan on doing for the money. I'm going to pay this because when I pay this, it makes me feel this way, and I'm able to help someone, I'm able to do it. I want to tithe. I want to be able to pay this particular debt because when I pay the IRS off, because your word says to pay Caesar no more than what you owe. So I want to be in commitment to that. What you've already told me, Lord, is to pay my taxes. I want to be able to take money from my consultant who's going to help me with my taxes, and I want to take that and I want to put into an income IRA account, and I want it to grow. Lord, I want $4,000 extra so that I can invest in this cryptocurrency because I want to be able to add to my retirement. So I'm just giving you examples. Is you have to be very specific. If it's a money goal, what you're going to do with the money. And then this is the last thing that's so important, which people don't share with you, and I get so mad when they don't share, is that why is it so important about feelings? Because our expectations and our desires only come to us when we can feel them. So the last part of that, feel what the feelings are in it on what you're doing. And I'll give you an example. Okay, so with my profits that I'm going to make, I want to take my mother on a really nice dinner. And I know she loved this French chateau restaurant over in Napa. She's never been there. Oh my God. She has on a red dress. I have on a blue dress. We in there, she getting steak. I'm getting lamb. We're getting a whole bottle of wine. As a matter of fact, I'm going to buy a bottle of wine and give it to her as her gift so she could take it back. We're going to get the 5-course meal. We're sitting there. It's at a 6 p.m. dinner set. I mean, you got to be all in it with the feeling. And I see my mom and she's feeling good at the dinner and we're getting a 5-course meal. Whatever the case, I'm just giving you an example to get into the feeling. It could be you want to take your partner, say, hey, girl, we're going out to Vegas and I want to take you there. Whatever the case may be, you're on first class or not first class, you're staying at this hotel at the IKEA, and then what you're going to be doing. So it's like, you hear about this stuff all the time, and I'm like, what is this thing? But when I actually started doing it and started seeing the reward from it, and then started talking to other masters of money energy, they saying the same thing. So if they're saying the same thing, it got to be right. So I said, well, shoot, let me get on this train. What if, just what if you did that and it happened? What if? What if you met your goal and you had 10 new clients? Just what if, right? So what if? So that's all that I wanted to share with you guys. We can open it up for questions. I hope you like it. So here's your resource. Your resource, I want you guys to go out and get this book. I'm going to text you the Amazon link to it. Now, when I say the words, it's not my word. It is the name of the book. So the name of the book is, I love it too, because tell me why last week, after my meditation in my orbit, this came into my vortex at about 11 o'clock. You know how God talks to you at different hours of the night? For some reason, this appeared in my vortex. And I said it had to come from the gods. And look, y'all, I'm telling you, okay, here it is, y'all. Y'all ready for it? This is so good. I'm going to send it to you right now. I'm so excited. It's called Rich as Fuck. And it's by Amanda Francis. You guys are going to get introduced to Amanda Francis. And I didn't say the word. She did. It's in a pink. She in a bathtub with all this money on it. Rich as fuck. And it sounds powerful to say the word. So let me just say that when you get the book, listen for the principles that she's talking about. It's the principles behind the energy of money. So there it is. All right, you guys, anybody want to share? Oh, let me share one last thing. So I had a client, and this is something that I had already manifested. And so one of my clients, actually, the company that I rep Standard Process, the educator came by my spot. And so it smelled so nice because I do aromatherapy. I have my own bath and body products. She said, this smells so good. And so I gave her a little sample of my Egyptian musk. And then she saw all my bath stuff. She said, you know what, Kim? I want you to do all of my holiday packages for my clients for the holidays. I'm like, okay. I says, well, how many do you want? She says, it'd be about 25. I'm like, okay. So did you know 3 weeks later, she called me. She says, Kim, I'm ready to purchase those boxes. I didn't think that nothing of it. Open up your heart that money could come anywhere. She says, I want 25 of those boxes, please. I says, okay. So we did 25. I'm gonna send you a picture of the boxes too. We did 25 of them. I think that sale yielded about $2,100. And so she is gifting 21 packages of two gorgeous Bath and Body essentials, which will go out to doctors, naturopaths, and chiropractors, and nurses and RDs tomorrow. Thank you very much. So, hey, that's my celebration because I manifested it. It's like, God, more money, more clients. How we going to do it? I didn't think it was going to come from bath lotions and gels and oils, but it did. All right, you guys, what you got for me? You guys got questions? Shoot. Vinny, you got questions? Dr. Demita, you got questions? Tracy, you have questions? You guys are all excited about how you're going to close out your December. Any questions about the wealth consciousness that we talked about, the 10 steps?
I have a question. Well, I don't know if it's a question or it's probably a question.
Mhm.
Because I do know the vision. You know, you have to see yourself in this space and in this place. Because I've been dealing with how am I going to get extra things taken care of. Oh, this person is more better at doing this than I am. I need professionals to do this, you know, but it's sometimes it's better to pay folks to do things. So I'm like, okay, well, if you need a housekeeper to help you come clean your house because you make more money doing this, then you got to sell more stuff doing, you know, sell more packages, get this going. And so my thing, my I don't know if it's a question or it's a comment, but like where do you take yourself to so you stay in that zone? Like sometimes I will just like, even if I'm sitting here at the desk and I'm taking a call or I'm speaking to somebody, I dress completely up like I'm going out to their office, you know, they wouldn't know the difference. But how do you keep yourself in that space and in that zone to not let that negative energy come in? I do try to keep my candle lit. Um, but then sometimes I think being at home too, you kind of like, okay, I need to make sure the whole house is smelling good. So no matter where I walk, I keep myself in that frame of mind. Like, what do you do? Like, you have some suggestions on how to keep yourself in that space and in that zone to where you don't let yourself go to that negative spot.
So is that before a call? Is that just in general? Is that before you start working? Or where exactly are you suggesting that? Is that before you start like a meeting for your day work, or is it a meeting before your coaching client?
For
Specifically
me,
where?
yeah, you know, for me, it could be honestly, it could be at any point in time.
Okay.
Like before I get on a call, sometimes I'm like really hyped before I get on the call, and then
Okay.
sometimes I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to close this one, but just let me go out here and just give it my shot. You know, I think sometimes certain things that they just come into your mindset to kind of try and block you. Even when getting up early in the morning, it's like, you know what? I just got to do it. I got to get up, get to the
Right.
gym. I got to get up, go walk out here in this cold. I got
Right.
to get up. I got to do it. But
Right.
like, how do we keep ourselves
So
from
how do you
letting
keep
that negative energy come in?
Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. So it depends on what time it is, but let's just say if it's in the morning, and for those of you who start in prayer or meditation, that's one way to ground yourself. And then, just say you did that. Just say, okay, I love and support myself. I am enough. You gotta say these things to yourself before you start. What is your MO? Is it stretching? Is it meditation, walking, exercise? Then you say, okay, it's cold outside, but God made coats. I got to get out here. I got to get the air exercise so I can reset my central nervous system. Do those things to keep you whole and planted and centered. Yours could be, okay, let me fix a light breakfast. Whatever that thing that you're calling that you need to get you centered, that's the thing you need to do. Like for me, it's making a nice herbal tea or coffee in the morning. I
Okay.
alternate between coffee and tea. That's the first thing that I do. That's my meditation. That's my sanctuary, giving me a nice cup of herbal tea. And I have that. And then I go into a prayer. I might read Joshua 1:8. I think you need to anchor yourself maybe a little better. Pick a scripture that you like and then start. In my bed, I go into my phone, I go into my YouTube, and I go to this one place, and it's a meditation in the morning. It's 20 minutes and I start there. Ground yourself the first thing in the morning with God. That's your best advice is to do that. Secondly, then decide what is Your spirit inner man saying, Vinny, feed me. I need a little bit of food, or go get you a cup of tea, whatever that is. Okay. And then the third thing, if you have time, if you do your exercise during the day or if you do it at night, then you must feed the physical man. So you go and feed the physical man, and the physical man may be, okay, I do 20 minutes of a walk. So now you did the emotional man, you did the physical man, you did the spiritual man. So you fed all three, and you got to ground that self every single day. And when the negativity come, you shut it down. Ask yourself, is it true? I know bills are paid, but God says abundance, that I am enough. And he's the supplier of everything. So when the negativity comes, then you have to shoot it down and says, okay, I got this. I'm in control. So when it comes, shoot it down. That's not true. When the thought come in, shoot it down. Is it true? Is this true what just happened between me and my family or husband, whatnot? That's not true. So you have to ask yourself, shoot it down. And then you get to the next thing you need to do, emails, phone calls, as it relates to people who you're talking to, dress. Make sure that you're covered up here, make sure your hair, make sure up here is all welcome, and then start to call. If it's a visual, start to call. Even if it's a phone call, I don't take calls in my pajama top. I take calls in my clothes because it's something about the energy. And I put all my calls on a tripod. I take my tripod and I put the call on and I put it so I'm talking with my hands. This is a phone call. It's a phone call on my tripod. It gives me energy. It gives me grounded. If I'm at work, it's my computer. I'm dressed. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Just have to stay focused with that every single day. And when you get pulled out, you pull yourself right back in. It's just energy. We talked about that. It's just energy. Is this true? I got this. I got this. I can handle it. And if it's something that bothers you, you say, I'm a champion of life. I got this. I can handle this. God gave me the mind of Christ. I can handle this. And you go handle it and you do what you need to do.
Okay. All right. That was my question.
You're not crazy. It happens to the best of us. And it's going to keep happening until you turn to ashes and die. But what happens is the triggers become less and you stay more organized. And then you're on your way to being rich as fuck. When I give you first. Oh, this book is amazing. This book is amazing, y'all. It's
Did
amazing.
you drop the link?
Okay, let me do it right now. Let me do it right now.
Yeah, we need the link.
Okay. Yeah, let me do it right now. Let me do it right now.
Then
Yes.
I'm gonna have to.
Okay, Dr. Davida, did you have a quick question before you go?
Well, my question, I guess it's not a question, but it's more of what's next for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking back. I was talking to someone earlier and I was looking back on the last couple years and, you know, 2024 was an experimental year. Um, I stepped into something different, explored that for a while, found out it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With the women's fitness gym,
Mm-hmm.
the women's kickboxing gym.
Mm-hmm.
And that was an ordeal, even getting it set up and then even shutting it down was took just as much time and energy and effort as it did to get it started.
Yes.
I've lived to tell the tale. So so then 2025 was for me, I think I'm labeling 2025 as recovery and reset.
Okay, I like that. I love it. I like that. That should be a podcast show.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down.
Write it down for me.
I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write it down right now. I'm gonna hold you to it. Go ahead on talk.
So yeah, I'm gonna write it down too, so I don't forget. Yeah, so it's okay to, I think, to experiment as long as you do it within reason, which I did. I took a
Did.
calculated risk,
You
and
did.
that's okay. I knew exactly what I wanted to invest and what I was willing
Lose.
to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Gain or lose. I was willing to put this much into it. I did. It didn't work out. That's okay. But I learned
Mm-hmm.
a tremendous amount.
Look at that. Look at
and can speak to it from a coaching perspective to clients who are considering going that route. And then for 2025, it's been recovery reset for me. Um, and I think I did that. I think I did that thing.
You did. And
So,
I'm writing notes as you speak because that's another part of your pod. I'm telling y'all lose your podcast to speak your knowledge. That's going to be a part of your TED Talk. And so what you
right.
just said, the truth about taking on a franchise, that's your podcast. And you're going to say, learned lessons. This is what I learned from. Things on what not to do, things on what to do. People are going to love you for that. There you go.
Yeah.
Wrote your title for you.
Thank you. And yes, this is recorded, so I can use pieces of this in my transcript. Um, yeah, and so, but the reset and recovery process was taking a step back and looking at, okay, where do we pivot, right? And I
Right.
there could have been so many different ways to go,
Mhm.
right? Getting a job, stepping back into corporate office, just getting a job just to get by.
Right.
Really do I want to step full time into my coaching, my profession? And so it really took a lot of deep diving and soul searching to figure out those answers. And then once I determined this is the course of action for me.
Excellent.
And even if it's just more than one course, it's a where I am now is I'm on parallel courses that converge on the essentials.
Wow.
So talk about that more later.
That's excellent, don't you think? But it took you to go through the experience in your journey. That was your journey
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
get to this place. And let me leave you with this, which is so beautiful, is you had to go through that experience so that you can own it. Had
Yeah,
you not
yeah,
gone through it, you wouldn't be able to own it. And you
right.
wouldn't be able to speak the truth of it. Trust and believe. It was a reason you needed to go to it. We're so glad
Yeah.
you didn't stay there as long unnecessarily that you needed to, but you did what you.
And that was a hard part too. And I would definitely want to speak to that is when you're at the crossroads and you've got it's saying either go left or right and being able to discern which of those crossroads, which road you take, the left one or the right one. Because, yeah, I could have continued this journey, said, no, I'm all in. This is going to work. I just need to do this, this, and this, and push forward. But at the same time, it was, is this really where your heart is?
Mm.
And let me just add this little tidbit because we're recording this and I'm going to use it.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Sometimes when you are in the thick of things and you're in the fire of it, you can't see your way out.
Mm.
And so this is where your family and valuable people that you trust, not anybody, not Uncle Joe, who hasn't worked in 10 years, but think he knows everything about life,
Right, right,
but true trusted connections, whether there's a family member or even people outside of your family
right,
that they don't have, they're not, their emotions are not tied up into it. And so they can step back and give you that objective view. And
right.
it's important to listen
Mm-hmm.
to them
Mm-hmm.
and then connect that with where your heart is going. So that's what had to have. I had to have a family intervention. They did an intervention with me at the dining room table and said, look,
I love it.
what you going to do, we support you. However, here's what you're not seeing. I said, okay.
Was it a one sentence answer? Something that was just so simple and it's like, now why didn't I see that? But it took a, it's like, I'll say family member is like, okay, what's up here? I remember my
Yeah.
uncle told me one time, well, if the math ain't mathing, then you need to do something different.
Right, right. So,
So good for that family member that shared that. And you know what? You weren't offended.
no,
Your heart was open to receive, and you just say duly noted.
yeah,
That's it. You say
yeah,
duly noted. That's it. Well, I'm proud of you. I'm glad. I remembered it from the beginning to the end of the journey. So
yeah,
I'm
yes, you
glad
do.
that you did it. You were very steadfast that that was what you were going to do. But everybody sometimes get detoured a little bit, and yours was definitely for a beautiful season and reason because
Well,
it,
let me tell you how it
yeah,
spiritually how this works out is when you don't always know in that moment that that pivot that you're making is what's in store for you or not.
right.
Your heart's in it, you take a chance, you're like, okay, I'm listening. I think I need to move in this direction. But the universe spiritually will always tell you if this is the path for you. And I think that applies not only to business, it applies to relationships, it applies to everything else.
Hmm.
It's, its spirit will tell you, okay, this is the right path or not, because stepping stones start getting laid out in front of you when it's the
Mm,
right path and the doors open. If you find yourself grinding and struggling and grinding and trying to change the situation in him or her, it yeah, that's another story. That's
mhm,
telling you, hey, maybe you're going against the grain here.
mm,
And
mm,
so for me, bringing it back full circle, reset, recover, reset, go. And when I started doing that, Kim, the stepping stones started to lay out.
oh, clarity
The
came.
doors, not only clarity becomes clarity, initial clarity, and then is more clarity, and then more clarity, and the road it's like the parting of the sea, right?
Exactly.
The stuff parts, and
Yeah,
now you can see clearly
yeah.
the path forward. And I feel like that's where I am right now.
That's wonderful. That's where you need to be.
And so 2026 is now.
Hmm.
Now that the vision is there
Yes.
and the all the building blocks that are needed are right there.
Hmm.
Now it's a matter of just stacking those blocks,
Yes.
laying them out, and continuing that path.
Yes.
So that's my goal 2026. I know what I want to do. I know the direction I want to move in. It's interesting that tonight's session was about getting clarity on your money focus, naming it, and having a vision for not only how it comes in, but what you do with it afterwards. I wrote that last week. I, somewhere I have a printout. Here it is in my notebook.
Okay. Okay. Look at her. She got a notebook. Look at that, Vinny. She got a
I
notebook.
got a notebook, and here is my plan.
Okay. Wow.
Top three lifetime goals
Look,
planned out, how it's going to happen. The
look,
money numbers are there. Money numbers are there.
look at that.
So I'm
Yes.
just saying.
Yes.
And here you are talking about it, which
Yes.
is another evidence
Yes.
of
Yes.
it was time for me to sit in a quiet space
Right.
and get detailed with it.
Right.
And you just brought it home. Ooh,
Amen.
I'm 5 minutes late for my next call.
Okay,
Anyway,
go
I
ahead
got
on.
caught
Thank
up.
you. Vinny, I got one more thing for you. Okay, Dr. Demita, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much.
All
You'll get
right,
all this
thank you.
information and go out and get the book, Rich as Fuck. Okay.
I'm getting it. You didn't put the link in,
Yes,
but
I did.
I'm gonna
Yes,
find
I
you.
did. Yes, I did. I did.
Oh,
You
I
got,
don't see it.
it's Audible. It's pink. It's in the text. I just texted. I'm sorry, it's on your phone
Oh, it's
text.
in the text. Okay,
On
perfect.
the text. All
And
right.
And yeah, I'll be talking to you because now it's the whole image.
Yes.
I gotta look the way I feel and
There you
in my
go.
mindset. So that was the next thing was like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
I
no
just
more showing up in sweats, even though
okay.
I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now, but during the
Calls
day
are
I'm not.
yeah, calls are different. Y'all can come to calls as you like. All right. All right, you guys. Bye for now.
All right,
Okay, Miss
bye-bye.
Benny, I got one last thing for you. So what I want you to do is you asked about the negativity, okay? So what I want you to do is when the feeling come up, have a journal by you and you can say, what inside me is making me feel negative? Because you said when the negativity comes up,
Mhm.
journaling, what's inside me is making me feel negative. And then here's the second question. The feeling that I'm feeling, what is it revealing? Okay. Because when that comes up, something is a message to you. The feeling that I'm feeling is revealing what? And then the third question you ask, and it could be something that's due because I keep these cards many on my bed because God speaks to me. So I write it. So I would write three questions on a postcard. Those three questions,
Mhm.
what inside, what is it inside me that's making me feel or making it feel negative? And then the second question, the feeling that I'm feeling is revealing what?
Okay.
The third one is this is the clincher right here. What is my truth? That's it. That's all you got to do. Ask those three questions. We are our best coach. And then as it's going to come up, and then write it down, it may say something like, you said that, or you shouldn't said this, or you're stubborn. Whatever it is, then and then you take the first thought, is it true? Is it true? Make it a disbelief. You say, is it true? And then the
Mhm.
thought's going to come up again because you're playing it's mind games that you're playing yourself. And so when these things come, the reason you're feeling these negative things, it's not true because God doesn't give you negativity. They're coming from someplace else. You need to make it a disbelief and then counter it with a new belief. That's it.
Okay.
You just
All
you
right.
you in boot camp training. That's it. You in boot camp training.
Okay. That works.
That's it. It's really not that complicated.
No, I know it's not. I think sometimes I make it a little bit more complicated, but but then sometimes we do have that voice, that thing that comes in and
Yeah,
there's no clarity. So it's like, no, we gotta,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That it's for a reason. You got the subconscious and the unconscious, right? And so that is that voice. That's that alter ego voice. But it doesn't mean that that voice is true.
right, right. Very true. So, okay, that
Okay.
works.
So hopefully that